Welcome to the Online Meditation Center. Today, we will together examine what in our reality, in our directly experienced reality, is actually solid. What is actually permanent. And how we define solid is based on how real it is. We're not talking solid like a rock, like stone, or like concrete. We are talking solid in the way that it persists in your experience. What in your experience is real? Actually real. Meaning it's present either forever or most of the time. We do not define real as how physically apparent it seems to be while it's here. We define real as something that is always here. We can say we can study it in a microscope, or we can touch it, and so it's real. But where are that which you are studying in the microscope, and where are that which you are touching when you can't touch it, or you can't study it? Because it's not in your experience anymore when you're not close to it in physical proximity. Because we are, of course, taught, both through experience and through other people, throughout our upbringing, that stuff we can see is real. Stuff we can touch is real. Stuff we can smell and hear is real. But how real can it be when it disappears so easily from our experience? And so to follow along this little inquiry or examination, you need to turn your regular understanding of your life and the reality you live in on its head. Whether you agree with it or not, or you're skeptical, that's okay. But just for now, just play along. Just be open to seeing it from this perspective, just for now. Because the normal way of seeing it is that you are born into an objective physical reality, a planet called Earth. You spawned here from your mother and father having fun in the bed, and their bodies created what eventually turned out to be your body. A physical, living object occupying space in a huge spaced place called planet Earth. In an even huger objective physical universe consisting of gazillions, bajillions of stars, planets, galaxies. And so all of these things, since they are viewed as objective and physical, were here already when you came here. And then you came here and became conscious and started living. And we're not going to doubt that the planet and the galaxies and the universe was here before you started playing around there. That's okay. But what we will doubt or look at now is how objective these physical structures are in your personal, direct experience of life here and now. And so we will not see that, okay, since this planet was here before I was born and it will be here after I die, it is more real than me. It is more solid than me. Because we know nothing about that. We can't know whether or not this planet existed before we started experiencing this place. Likewise, we cannot know that it will continue existing once we leave. Now, it seems probable that it will. That doesn't matter. What matters for us is to find out what is actually the most real thing in our own experience. What is it that is always here? No matter where we are, in any physical locations, no matter what state we happen to be in, psychological, mental, physical. What continues to remain here? No matter what's happening. Because if we can find that or those things which is always here, if there in fact is anything that is always here, then we will find the only thing that is of true solidity, that has true permanence. Because we might think that, well, my body only lasts for like 70 to 100 years, even less, while this planet lasts for millions of years. And this physical universe will last for a long, long time. But eventually, this planet will disintegrate. Our solar system will evaporate. And the entire universe will eventually die. Even the hugest physical thing that we know of, scientists agree it will end. And it might spawn anew, okay, and so it goes over and over, but it will always end. But what in our personal experience is it that never ends? Our body changes. It goes from being a tiny, tiny little thing to growing, until it reaches its max height and width, and then slowly it starts withering away, crumbling, eventually turning back into dust. But at least this body is with us for as long as we experience this human life. So it obviously is one of the contenders for something that we can experience as somewhat solid. So it's close. You might suggest my thoughts. What about them? They're always here. Well, are they? What's the lifespan of one thought? What's the lifespan of one thought if you do not grab it and think more about that thing? Well, if you pay attention, you see that a thought arises, and then if you do not grab it, it quickly subsides and disappears. And so all thoughts simply emerges. Here I am. And then they fall away again. And so of course thoughts can't be solid, even if they often might seem like they're taking up your entire reality and coloring all of your reality. That's only because you're focusing on them and you choose more or less consciously to identify with them. A thought comes saying something and you can choose to agree with it, not like it, push it away, push it closer, ignore it. Some thoughts are really persistent and we believe them from childhood and all to old age. Other thoughts are quickly discarded. But they will all go away. And you have to actually put energy into maintaining them. And so with no energy, thoughts can't exist. Like fire without oxygen, it's choked. It vanishes. And so thoughts can't be solid. Thoughts have no permanence. Well, emotions, you might say. Thoughts can't exist without emotions, you might say. In fact, you get an emotion, and then a thought is putting a label on top of that emotion, labeling it, saying what it is. So, emotions are more fundamental. So surely emotions are solid, but of course not. Emotions are just like the clouds and the wind. They fly by and they're gone. Just like thoughts, they arise, and you might focus on them and prolong their lifespan, but eventually they subside. And so neither thoughts nor emotions have any solidity. The body is more solid than that. Then how about all the different senses that come from the body? Is a function of a body existing. Sight, smell, sensation, sounds. All of these is here with the body and seems solid until you suddenly can't see anymore, or you become deaf or numb. And so none of our sensations are any more solid than the body itself. They have no more permanence than the body itself, and without the body there would be no reality, because you use your body to experience reality. Or do you? But how permanent is your body? Really? What happens when you fall asleep? Oh, that's just the body sleeping, you might say. Is it? Are you sure? When you fall asleep, the entire reality disappears. All the laws of physics, your body, your senses, the entire universe packs up and leaves. And suddenly, you find yourself in another reality. Maybe you have a body, maybe not. Maybe you remember this life, maybe not. But there you are, walking around, doing things, interacting with people and beings, like it's the most natural thing in the world. But then you wake up in bed and you realize that, what the hell happened? That was some crazy ass dream that made no sense. Well, while you were there it made sense. And if you didn't remember the real so-called world where you're now, that was the only real reality. It was the only reality. And so if you never even woke up in bed again and you just kept existing in that dream, it it's equally as real as this experience. But of course that dream vanished as well, so how solid was it? How solid is this reality? Even if you had a body in that dream, it still vanished with the dream. Doesn't matter if it's real or not, it still vanished. And so all the senses are connected to a specific experience. And whichever experience we're having, it seems physical while we're there. And it seems kind of objective. Even if you're in an experience where you can fly, levitate, move things around with your thoughts, it seems so real. But then you wake up and it vanishes. So are there really any permanent things at all in either this experience, dream experiences? Maybe you're one of those who are able to go out of body, astral project. No matter where you astral project, it's bound to end, just like any experience. And whatever emotions or thoughts you're having in any of these experiences, they will all be gone. And so there is no permanence in directly experienced reality. Anything you experience arises and vanishes. All of existence is a continuous changing color painting. No permanence can be found in any experience. No solidity, permanent solidity, can be found in an experience. You might be wrapping your arms around a mountain and cling to it and say, this is permanent, this is solid, this is real. And poof, you wake up and you realize that was just a dream. That mountain which seemed so solid and so physical and so real, it was nothing but mind stuff. It was just a fleeting experience. And then you say, yeah, but this life, this human life isn't the same as the dreams I have at night. Because this stretches, this lasts for a long time. Well, relatively longer. It's like a TV series that continues, and each day is a new episode. And then you have like mini-series and mini-movies and mini-games in between the episodes of the main series. But when you get to the season finale, the season ends. So just because this life, so-called, lasts for a longer time, it still ends. And all that was here, that seemed so real and so physical and so solid and so permanent, is yet again gone. So we need to look deeper to find that which has real solidity, that which has real permanence. Because it exists. It just does not exist in any fleeting experience. And it is itself not an experience. Because any experience, whether it's visual, audible, tactile, thought-based, mental, emotional, even spiritual experiences, they are still experiences, and all experiences end. There is no such thing as a permanent experience. The very nature of experience dictates that it has to end, because it has a beginning. It comes and it has to go again to make space for a new experience. And so there are no solid objects. There are no permanent states. All of these are shifting colors on the canvas of life. Same with personalities. Personalities changes and they end. So you need to go deeper, and you need to look right now. Ignore everything you've ever heard, anything you've ever learned. Let it all burn. But what is it that remains, whether you're here, in a nightly dream, flying out of body, visiting other dimensions, tripping your ass off? What always remains? What's always right here? You. You are always here. I'm not talking about any of the labels that you conceptually tell yourself that you are. I'm a man, I'm this and that, I have these things, I know these things. No, none of that. What is the fundamental experience of being you? What characteristics do you have? What is that singular thing or aspect that is always present here in your dreams, out of body, in other realities? What is always present? Which aspect of yourself is always present? The knowing that I am. I exist. And I am me. That's not even a question. That's just a part of that knowing. I am me. I exist now, and I am me. And that's it. That is always here. Even if you're having a dream at night and you can't remember this human life at all, and you're interacting with a whole host of people and beings that you've never seen in this life before, they just suddenly spawned and you're doing something. Even if the entire experience you're having is unknown and you've never seen it before and you have really no relation to anyone, but you're still doing it, you don't even ask it questions, why is it like this? No, you're just acting. It's just natural. Even then, it's not even a question. I am me. I am having this experience. I don't know what I am. I don't know who I am. But this thingless thing that is having this experience is me. Most likely, when asked the question, who are you? You will answer accordingly to the experience you're having. And so if you're having a dream where you're experiencing yourself as, I don't know, a turtle, a fox, in a fox society, in a society of elephants or aliens or whatever, then you'll answer if somebody asks you, who are you? Well, I'm a fox. Obviously, I'm a turtle. Can't you see that? But all of that changes according to the experience you're having. You will always say, well, I'm this, of course, when you're entrenched in the experience. When you realize what you truly are, you won't take yourself to be the current costume which follows the current experience you're having. You will see through the costume and you will realize, no, this is just my current appearance. This is the game character I'm using right now to play in this virtual reality. I am actually the essence, the I am. And in the I am, the answer lies. I simply am. This is simply an existing nothingness, an awareness. And this awareness, although characteristic-less, is me. Not the current character, but that which gives it life. You are you, no matter what experience you're having. You will always be you. You will always be yourself. And the fact that we actually experientially die each night we go to bed and then reappear either in some other reality in form of what we call dream from this perspective, and then reappear here in so-called waking life, tells you experientially that you will survive death, because you die every night and then you have more experiences. And so you are that thingless thing which is self-aware, which is characteristic-less, but exists, that is having experiences, and they all seem to be solid and real while you're there. But as soon as they're gone, you mostly forget them. And then the next experience is all encompassing. And so when this human life ends, it will simply be a new night, and you will have a new experience. And you will continue to be yourself. So if you want to know what survives human death, simply get to know this: I am. Recognize that part of yourself, which is yourself, when you're having dreams at night. That recognize what is similar in this waking life and in your dream life. And then think about it. Yes, when I had that dream tonight, I was still me. I didn't remember that I was Ben, or that I had my family and my friends and I was doing all the things that I'm doing here in this human life. I was doing something completely else. I did not remember this character and this label, but I was me. No matter how crazy experiences I'm having, I'm still and forever me. No name tag, just me. And so all experiences will come, all experiences will go, and there will always come new experiences, but you will remain yourself. That's the only permanent, only truly solid aspect of your existence. In fact, that is your existence. Now, don't believe me. Don't believe me. I've found this in myself by scrutinizing my direct experience of life. And that's the only way to come to know this. Because you might believe me, but that doesn't help you. You have to actually question your existence. Stop taking everything for granted and watch. Who are you when you're dreaming tonight? What's left of this reality? And what is the new reality? But who is having the experience? Who is not changed? Who has remained the same during the change of experiences? Watch. Deeply. And you will know that you can't die. It's right here, right now, the answer. Right here, right now. You can realize that what you are will not perish. Even if this experience ends. Because this is just another experience. But you might find that what you take as yourself, as of now, will not survive. Because anything related to this meat blob sitting here will die. This Ben character will end. But the thingless thing animating this character, that thing which is I, which is there when I'm having dreams at night, when I'm doing anything else. That which is always here cannot die, because it is not of the same substance as experience. It is outside of the realm of experience, because experience appears within it. It is not inside the experience. Experience is inside it. And again, don't believe me. But if you really want to know, it's right here, right now. You can only realize this here and now. And by dropping all knowledge, all beliefs, all thoughts, drop it like it's hot. And remain here. And watch. Who am I? What is having this experience right now? Have fun.